Did you know the Milwaukee Bucks are 15-13 under Doc Rivers? Yeah, they've lost more games so far with Doc Rivers than the same amount as in 28 games. They've lost same amount of games with Doc Rivers Jesus Christ, can't speak right here, guys. Adrian Griffin went 30-13. Doc Rivers went 15-13. And it's crazy to think that, is Doc Rivers a good or bad coach? I don't know. But what I can tell you, the Bucks are plus 16 in net rating when Brook, Lopez, Khris Middleton, and Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard share the floor together. And I think that's the biggest thing that you need to look at if you are a Bucks fan. This is a team that can be good. This is a team that I think has the ability still to upset people and go on a run. Okay, and obviously, I think it's a bit more rusty than it was expected. They are the 5th best offense in the league, 16th defensive rating, 8th in net rating. But over the span of the last, 21 games where they've gone 13-8, they've had the 11th best offense, 6th best defense in that stretch. They're outscoring opponents by 16 points per 100 possessions. And yes, the Bucks have had several stops and starts this season as they've incorporated Damian Lillard into their core. And one of the element of integration has been challenging as the health of Khris Middleton. But Khris Middleton, as of late, is a guy that I think is showing, hey, I'm starting to get it back, baby. I'm starting to get those legs under me. And I think that's what they need. At the very least, they need their guy to come back. And I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think? 6 games since the All-Star break, Khris Middleton's averaged 16 points on 50% from the field, 38% from 3. So that is huge for them. And for me, if we look at just, the Bucks in the last 28 games, the last 28 games, these are their stats. It's definitely interesting because I think they're a team that they can be really good, but then on some nights they can be surprisingly bad. So in those 28 games, they've had their leading scorers, obviously, Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's played in 25 of those games. Damian Lillard has appeared in 25 of those games as well, scoring 23 points a night. Both of them, shooting really well. Bobby Portis is putting up 15 a night there. So is Khris Middleton. Khris Middleton's only played 10 of those games. Bobby Portis, Jay Crowder, and Pat Connaughton are the only one who's played in the last 28 games. And then you got Malik Beasley, who's putting up 12 points a night and field goal attempts, with 8 of those being from 3. You got yourself Brook Lopez scoring 11 points a night while also going out there and just being a menace, almost 2 blocks a game. And after that, AJ Green's coming out shooting well from 3, averaging 6 points. So is Pat Connaughton. Pat Bev in his 21 games so far, 5.5 points. And after that, Danilo Gallinari was a guy that we thought was going to make a bit more of an impact. He's playing 9 minutes a night, and same thing with Marjon Beauchamp. But we haven't seen Mr. Danilo Gallinari since the 24th, and when he plays, it's very against Boston. He played 19 minutes, but between that, the other games, it wasn't as much. So it is definitely interesting to see how they're going to go about it, because if you're a Bucks fan, I think the biggest thing, as a team, their team stats, I think over this span is that it's just they need to just be more. I just don't see the hunger sometimes. Maybe that's just me, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts on the whole situation. If you guys are a Bucks fan, Khris Middleton, when he's out there, is good. I just think the biggest problem for the Bucks, let's look at their most recent game. Their most recent game was against the Atlanta Hawks, where they had, as you guys have been watching, that's the highlights I've been looping. Was it a good game? It was fun. But the biggest thing is if you look at this, their starting lineup: Brook Lopez, Beasley, Middleton, Bev, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's awesome. And then you bring in Damian Lillard into that lineup. You take out Pat Bev. Malik Beasley is there. And then Pat Bev's off the bench with Pat Connaughton and Jay Crowder and Bobby Portis. That's a solid 9-man rotation now. Way better than what it was in the beginning of the year. So I think there's ways to solve this team. I want to hear your thoughts down below. That's it from you guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Peace out.